And here we go. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. If you're not watching live, no, I'm not going to say shame on you. You're just as welcome. I know this information is not as time sensitive as the Spoon Boy channels. So, yeah, you're very free to watch my videos at any given time of the day, whichever suits you better. But of course, if you have any objection about the time at which I do my broadcasts, then maybe it's an idea to leave a comment in the comment section with a suggestion of which time would suit you better. Think about just writing down the time in the UTC format, so that's GMT 0, or if you don't know how to do the calculations, at least let me know the time zone you're living in, because otherwise this is going to become a mess. Now, let's dive into the charts and let's have a look at what kind of madness we could be expecting or seeing for the coming weekend, because it's weekend and we all know, especially in the cryptocurrency lands, that weekends often react differently than the week, and that is due to lower volume, due to I don't know, retail people who work during the week and they only have time to trade over the weekends. Sometimes FOMO kicks in, sometimes panic selling kicks in, sometimes just plain clean continuation. There is no really set rule for this. But nonetheless, let's have a look at the overall trend, because like some YouTubers like to say, the trend is your friend, and as long as it's not proven wrong, it's very dangerous to be trading against the trend. Yeah. And this is also what I prefer to do. I like to stick with the ongoing trend. Sometimes probably, I will be missing out on a few profits, but in the overall, I do feel that it's the safer way to manage your positions, because going with the trend is much more predictable than going against the trend. And for my concern, it also alleviates a lot of stress, issues, and worries that I want to avoid as much as possible during my trading sessions. So let's dive in. Now, after such a bull run, the thing that most people are fearing for is actually a strong pullback, or maybe that the top has already been reached. Now, for my trading style, how I do my analysis on that part, if you guys have been following me for a little bit of time, then you should know that I like to look at divergences being printed on the RSI and price, because I do have a strong belief that a big majority of the big players are also looking at these metrics. Not only just traders, but also the bots and algorithms. And they often react really, really strong to those. So, for now, if we look at the overall RSI, what can we see here on... let's go over to the 5-hour chart and the 10-hour chart, because those will show it a lot better. What we see is actually very, very obvious and clear. Very new very new high on the RSI, confirming also the high on the price action. So no bearish divergence to be seen on the 5-hour chart, and on the 10-hour chart. On the 10-hour chart, it starts to print already. So, what does this mean? What does this mean? Number one, it's not been confirmed yet, because the price has not started to really, really print new lower lows. And RSI, same thing, hasn't been printing lower lows just yet. But for now, we do see a little bit of pressure on the price, holding it down. And yeah, this is also noticeable on the price action. Now, from my experience, um, what will happen is probably a little bit of a correction or sideways movement. Over the weekend, we do have a few targets that are very, very clear that could create some nice support areas for the price, which are still marked off with the areas that we marked off yesterday. So let's just go over the RSI numbers, the predictions, and well, predictions is actually a very bad word. The estimations, let's call it like this: estimations. That's a lot nicer. And then let's go from there. Let's start looking at what the positions could do, where we could start expecting bullish divergences to push the price up. And this, in my opinion, would be a nice area to set your limits, to set your points of no return, where you do not want to see price turn over, or where you could start looking for new positions if you're in the market to open or to add up to your long position. Especially if you've been running the ride from one of these low areas, especially this one here. This is one that I clearly indicated like being very, very key, important. If you have been riding the ride from here to there, number one, I hope you took some profit. And then number two, if you didn't close your position completely, then maybe a correction would be a nice opportunity to add up to your long position and see if we can at least have a retest of the high, maybe breaking the high, confirming a continuation or, whatnot. So let's dive into the 1 hour chart. Let's have a look at the price action on this perspective. So what do we see? Stochastics did break below the yellow trend line. Like I said, it was very, very to be expected. We did see a rejection. We do see a rejection of the bearish control zone, and now retesting this trend line as a resistance line. So yeah, chances are rejection from this area a little bit more down. And looking at the volume profile, we do see a nice spread area where price could be moving through rather quickly. So key areas to be interested in are at least the volume nodes right here, right here. And then, of course, let's go over the RSI levels. Let's go over the expected RSI reads so that we can see whether any of these areas could form a divergence, a bullish signal that would at least push the price back up for a bounce and a retest of the higher areas. So yeah, usually such a run up. I say usually doesn't really break down turn momentum. It needs at least a little bit of motion, of confirmation to blah 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 to confirm a full-on reversal. Now, yeah, let's just dive in, right? I've been rambling on more than enough. So, key area right here. This is a local low. We're going to measure this one off. And then, of course, this one here, maybe even this section as the ultimate point of no return for this structure. Although, yeah, I don't believe this one will be very relevant. Maybe if we really want to go for the lows, this one would be more suitable, but not on a 1 hour time frame, because on the 1 hour time frame, way too many ticks have passed already, and yeah, we can't really go off of such a long period on such a small time frame. So yeah, let's just do it, shall we? So here we do have the local low right here sitting at 33.44, and this other one 33.24. That's strange. I wasn't expecting this one to be lower. Yeah, 43.3. Let's do this. So 43.3. Let's turn on the expected range number thingy, and here we go. So 22,575. Actually, starting from this range here, the 1 hour chart could already be printing a bullish divergence over this area here. Now that's very, very, very interesting. Let's draw this down, and let's do the rest of the reads so that we can have a better understanding of what it is we're seeing, because this is a very, very wide range. I don't think this one is actually going to say that much. I don't like it. Probably because already this is so far into the past. I think we should be moving over to the 3 hour chart. I think the 3 hour chart is going to help us a lot more. Let's delete this one, and see, as you can see, this one has a much larger distance over this area. I think this one is going to be a lot more clear. 53.8. See, sometimes it's just not enough to make some reads and to go over your things on an automated way. Sometimes you really need to use your common sense and interpret how, or way off how you want to interpret these reads, because sometimes they just won't make all that much sense, especially if we're looking at such a large distance. Let's go to this one here. This says 31.77. This one 22.9. Rather big one, huh? So let's do 31.77, 31.8. Because the calculator rounds up these numbers anyway. Let's look at this. This one here, making the divergence at 19,999. That would be the yellow line right here. Okay, so this is a little more interesting already. And now let's have a look at this here. 22.9. And 18,000 sharp. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's drive this down here. Let's just mark off these things, and afterwards we're going to clean up the chart, try to analyze how we should be interpreting these reads. Let's go over to the 5 hour chart, shall we? So right here, this area is not really a local low, so I'm going to disregard this one. And here we got 34.9 and 27.5. So 34.9 gets us 19,150. 19,150, and that would be right here. Okay. Okay. And then this one, 27.5. I do have a feeling this is going to be our point of no return. 17,300. We can drag it down a little bit. Okay. Now let's do the 10-hour chart, because we are entering the weekend after all, and yeah, this could be a conclusion of the action that we've seen over the week. So this information could be very relevant as well. Let's go with this one, 35.75. 35.75. So again, 18,100. Let's drag this up a little bit more. This is starting to look a lot more relevant, especially as we are building this line on this node. I do believe the green one could have a lot of validity, maybe even being a point of where we could be expecting more down. Don't really know about this one. I'm really not happy about this one. Let's go with the further end, 28.8. So yeah. So yeah, let's do it like this, because this seems to make a lot of sense. All right. I don't like where the green box is sitting at, so let's just remove this. Maybe I could use a trend line for this one. How are we gonna do this? So this entire section already, this is a 1 hour chart. I think if there would be any bullish divergence right here forming, I do believe that it's not going to be relevant for a box area. So what we're going to do is actually, this is going to look really weird, but just bear with me. We got 33.4, 43.4. So we're going to set a trend line at this level right here, and we're going to make it red, because I do strongly believe that breaking and closing below this trend line would initiate a steeper move down, because we already have the bullish divergence right here, but breaking below would just open the door to be looking for lower areas anyway. And You know what? No, we're going to do it like this. So, yeah. Within this green line, let's call it, this is the range of movement where price could be looking for support areas. I think this is how we would be better off reading this. So a very wide range where a lot of support could come in. Now, usually we could use the EMA ribbons as potential areas of support, especially when they combine with some volume nodes. They could become relevant as key areas. So this on the short term. On the longer term, we are gonna have to go with real strong regressions and strong pullbacks. So we should be looking at it from this perspective right here. Now I know this is starting to look messy, but looking at areas where we could be expecting bounces, especially after such a steep runoff, is actually rather tricky. So this would be at about the 20,000 range, and seeing how this was the former all-time high, I'm going to leave this yellow line because it's a very strong horizontal range that could be relevant. So where price action, where price could start encountering some support. Maybe I'm going to drag it down a little bit more because I want it to be closer to the larger areas of resistance. Those are going to be much more key relevant for an expected reaction. Now this one is going to be our point of no return, 22.9 on the RSI. And we do have almost 18,000. This is strange. Why are you sitting here? I'm going to make another box. I think this is going to be a little bit better. Just like that. Now we're going to color code it red. Okay. Okay. Yeah, now I know this is not saying a lot just because of the wide range that we are seeing here. So we're going to use some of the volume nodes as well as potential areas of interest. Like this. All right. So, starting to look a little bit like a chart, something that could be readable. So basically, on the very local trend, what do we see? we have a wedge shape that is forming on this consolidation right here. So for now, still a lot can be played out. As you know, wedges can break to the upside and to the downside just as easily. And hey, Random, thank you very much. Nice. Yeah, thank you very much for the ice cream on DLive. I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be yeah, a weekend thing. I'm gonna enjoy the ice cream over the weekend. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Um, Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're happy with the run up so far. So yeah, where was I? On the local area, we do have this wedge shape. As we know, wedges can break just as easily to the upside as they can break to the downside. Now, inside this green box, and I know this is a very, very wide area, there are a lot of opportunities where price could be picked up and could find some support and start ranging up again. So, as long, in my opinion, as long as we don't break out the green box, close below this trend line that we see right here, for me, things are still looking on the bullish side of things. I would be very, very surprised if we actually really break below this big node of volume. But you know, we need to keep we need to keep it in mind that everything is possible. This is the land of crypto, so yeah, we need to keep our eyes open for any kind of contingencies. Now, maybe I should remove this green box. I'm pretty sure it's going to start messing up a lot of people mentally. But yeah, I like the boxes. I think they show a nice range of motion, a zone where we could see price actually still react to the upside. And right here, closing in the blue and in the red box, I think it's mainly change of momentum and turning down to the downside. Yeah, all right, it's very exciting times again, especially after such a run up. Yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt and stuff. Probably over the weekend, some panic selling, or maybe just largely people taking huge chunks of profit. But on the overall, I still, and that's just my opinion, that's my feeling, I still have a feeling that it's not over just yet. Now, to round this entire thing up, I'm going to have a look at the dollar strength to see what the dollar is doing. And where did we leave off yesterday? Yesterday, we did see the price of the dollar peak below the blue box. And what happened is actually on the RSI, we do see more or less a sign on the shorter term. On the shorter term, actually, that's weird. It's only visible on the 3-hour chart, which is actually rather interesting. So the 3-hour chart expresses continuation to the downside, and the other charts are looking more like a bottom is being met and found. Um, yeah, this is it's a little bit dubious. Especially also the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart has bullish divergence very, very clearly being printed. So maybe we need to redraw this box as well. Let's set new limits and let's see how this goes. Yeah, very, very interesting. Now, why do we do this? I know that the dollar and Bitcoin are not always, they have been inverse correlated for quite some time. But yeah, right now we have seen some sort of, could we call it a decoupling? Like not really caring anymore about what the one is doing over the other. But yeah, we want to keep an eye on these anyway. Sometimes it can help us figure out some patterns, and sometimes it can also help figure out what is happening in the world. But yeah, it looks like the dollar is going to try to make its move up. Let's just go over the numbers. So 25.6. Am I reading this right? Yeah, 25.6. 25.6. And what does this say? 89.5. So let's make a new box. Okay, danger zone. Yeah, red. I like it. Red. So basically, or maybe I need to make this more green. Because reaching and peaking inside this box would just give more more bullish momentum, and would actually create a stronger case for the dollar to be picked up. So yeah, what the dollar does not want to see is actually breaking below this this green box, because this is where we would just confirm a continuation to the downside. Now, on the upside, because the dollar is not out of the woods just yet, not by a long shot. On the upside, what we don't want to, or what the dollar doesn't want to do, is actually make a bearish divergence with this local high right here. And this one is sitting at 68.4. 68.4, and that would be $90. 90.2, that would be right here. So let's do it like this. Oh, all right, let's go with the blue box, the standard color again. Stay to the generics. So yeah, a big range for the dollar to try and break. Is this going to happen right now? We really, really need to see the dollar break above this blue box in order to confirm a continuation to the upside. What could happen is probably a little bit of ranging, moving back down, and then here on the rebound, we will have to see whether there is a bullish divergence or a signal that that confirms bullishness so that the dollar can find up some momentum, more momentum, and eventually break above. But for now, yeah, limbo land, sitting between death and destruction. It's gonna be hard to judge where the dollar is going. Also, I've been seeing that a lot of madness with the elections is happening still in the US. It's coming to a conclusion. So yeah, this could actually change a lot of things. Um, yeah, random. Yeah, the Dixie. Yeah. It's a lot of weird things are happening right now in the world, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I find it interesting anyway. Also to be looking at how this turns out because yeah, with all the election madness in the U.S., a lot of crazy stuff has been happening. The stimulus is also going away, so yeah, this is also things that we need to keep an eye on. A lot of things can change. So yeah, it is interesting. So for now, for the dollar, I would expect anywhere in between these ranges until we find some consolidation that confirms one direction or the other. But for now, fate uncertain, I would say. Let's look at E-mini futures. E-mini futures was also into a pressure down situation, still did not recover. There was a little bit of a bullish momentum. Probably this played out right here, but it played out into the wrong hands. Um, for now, it's not yet confirmed, but yeah, once we start seeing the price go down on E-mini futures, I think a stronger correction is to be expected. But same thing as the dollar for now, future uncertain. The weekend is going to the closing of the market is going to be up ahead. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart, same thing. Pressure is looking down. Pressure is looking down for E-mini futures. Um, yeah, yeah, very, very interesting things up ahead. Um, hey, Letidor, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, I think so too, Random. I think so too. I also think that the dollar for now, well, it could happen. Let's just wait it out. Especially, there's like I said, there's a lot of turmoil in the U.S. With the stimulus being taken away and stuff. It might have just continuation to the downside, or we might see it get picked up. It's yeah, hard to predict the future, but I think these levels should be kept an eye on. Um, I think they are very, very relevant. Um, but yeah, let's keep our eyes on it and let's see how she plays. Right? Um, cool. Now, going back to Bitcoin. Going back to Bitcoin. For now, we are looking still really, really good. Probably some down, some pressure down, which would be fairly logical. Keep your eyes on these levels right here. I think those would be the first areas of interest. If they break a low sitting right here, would be relevant as well. So my strategy would be using this line here as my first area for a stop loss, because stepping out there would still allow me to get out in profit and then just wait for a lower area right here to see how it plays out, how it's looking, and then maybe just get into a new long position as long as we don't break the red line, the red box. I think the red box, this should be your signal to accept that the high was just the high, and we are going to turn around and see a continuation to the downside. All right, so yeah, I hope this was helpful. Was a very, very difficult chart to analyze. Maybe what we can do is also set a Fibonacci retracement. Maybe this one will also help a little bit. And let's go from the low here. Let's do this. And yeah, what do you know? What do you know? The 0.5 and the 0.6 are actually sitting below the red line. Possible retracement to this area. And what if we look from here? If we're looking from here, the 0.6 is actually sitting right here on the red line. So yeah, red line right here, still my main point of interest. I think this will be one of the most critical areas to be looking for. If not, probably price will be picked up around here, but I think it's going to be a lot slower. Okay, so yeah, take it as you will. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow, more updates, probably more clarity, because yeah, this is the land of anything can happen right now. Yeah, as exciting as it is, sometimes, you know, not having a crystal ball and being able to see the future, you just need to do with what you've got. If you see some YouTubers thinking that they can predict the future, please refer them so I can have a look at their channel. Maybe they have something up their sleeves that I don't have just yet. But for now, this is more or less the best I can find. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Remember, 12:30 UTC. This is the time where I prefer to broadcast. If by any chance you have a better time, something that suits you better, the majority always has the right to speak. So just type away in the comments section. Let me know which time would be better for you. Yeah, thanks a lot, Random. Thanks a lot. I really enjoy having people in the chat. Yeah, make sure tomorrow you'll be there as well. I really love it. Thank you very much. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I've been rambling on way too much again. I see you guys tomorrow, 12:30 UTC. Be there, be square. Also remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell notification. Also join me on YouTube. You know, I've been just recently breaking 1,000 subscribers in just a few months. So yeah, YouTube, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the opportunity. And of course, you know, this only motivates me to keep pushing more content and to stay more at it. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining. And, you know, remember, be there and be square. Bye, guys.